Let me check the microphone. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? It's Tuesday already. It's August 25th. Happy birthday to all the Leos of August. A lot of birthdays. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. We got some topics as always. Let me check the microphone because I did not check the microphone. Let me set up. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, need to refresh. Hold on. Y'all should be able to hear me. Just want to make sure before I be talking, y'all can't hear me. Yeah, y'all can hear me. All right. So we got some topics, man. I got these grapes too. Feeling like Craig Daddy John What the Spoon. When you had them grapes, he was like, every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. Eating up all the food. All so before I waste any more of your time, I have a video, a reaction starting off in the beginning. It's with Valuetainment. I don't watch them as much as I used to because I'm making videos or editing videos or reading or something, being productive. But he had a pretty good claim, I guess. It's gonna be very opinionated about if grades are rising, why SAT scores are failing. Now, anything with academics, you want to have a fact check behind it, back check, or whatever, or experience. Like only people who can really say, like, I feel like, oh, SATs are helpful, not helpful, this or that, would be not professors, Lord. K through 12 instructors, K through 12 teachers or principals, they can go based off of, well, at our school, our test scores are not that high. And then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. But I'm gonna let this play.
SAT scores dropped. How the hell is that possible? If we're getting more A's than ever before, how come we're getting worse SAT scores? Because guess what you can't do when you're taking your SATs? You can't go to ChatGPT. You can't go to Perplexity. So it seems like we're getting smarter because teachers don't know how to detect kids using language learning models. Some of them do because there's plenty of places where you can go and say, tell me if the student used a language learning model. Most teachers are lazy. They don't do it. They're going to be like, no, it's fine. I'm going to read it. No, he didn't use it. I don't see those spaces. Some teachers have kids are like, no, they're using it. Okay, great. Those teachers. In every space, there's 80-20. 80% of teachers are just like regular teachers, just like 80% of sales guys are just regular sales guys. No, I think today for me, we're getting lazier. And there's this thing called atrophy. SAT scores dropped. How the hell is that possible?
So if you don't know who or Valuetainment is, it's a very, I would say very conservative media outlet. And so here he makes the claim that SAT scores or grades are rising, SAT scores are failing, and then on the test, you can't use AI. I can't really say, I haven't been in high school officially going on 10 years. I haven't been in high school for 10 years. Or any K through 12, but like going on 10 years. And I can't tell you nothing today about these tests taken. All I could tell you is from a higher ed perspective, standardized testing is very much needed. But even in higher ed, at least in Georgia, I think it's like this around all states, majority states, not gonna say all, but majority states. But they don't even require you to take the SAT, ACT, written exam. If like you're going into like, I always mention law because like I said, one of my buddies, bro, he literally just took the bar. But tests like bar exams, med school, or things like that, getting into any type of schooling, they require, or post-grad, what we call it is post-undergrad, going into graduate school, they usually require you to take another test. Usually SATs, ACTs, like me in my 2 year, we don't even require students to take, we call it like a compass, an acuplacer, they used to call it that. We don't even require students to take that. They don't got to take no tests. Now, the only thing I don't like about that is it's very, I'm gonna use the word, it might be a little hurtful, but it's very deadly and dangerous, because if you don't take a placement test of any sort, you don't know where you are going for your classes. And what I mean by where you're going, you don't know what class you should take. So I don't have to take a placement test. So I don't need to take, so I'm gonna go and take calculus. But I think you need to take college algebra before you can take calculus. But depending on the school, they'll just let you take calculus. It depends on the college. A college will let you just take calculus. You're gonna let me take calculus. You don't know where I'm at in my math skills. You're just gonna let me take calculus. And then where it becomes a problem is that, like, in school, I'm gonna stay on topic. It becomes a problem because schools are desperate, for one, universities and colleges in general, but universities more. They get desperate because a lot of students are not going to college. And so we rather let you just take any class. For one, they get the money, and then they pocket the money. If you fail the class, you retake the class, it's more money for the school. But that's on a business standpoint. But from a actual, like, helping the student standpoint, it's not like I don't get it. It's I don't think they'll ever, like, it's in between. It's a tweener, as we say. One of my bros always saying basketball, they've been using the word tweener. Like, you're not oversized, but you're not small, but you're a tweener. And so it's very interesting because it's not good though. I think you should take a placement test. Now, SAT, ACT goes into a different topic because people, like, I'm be honest with you, a test is written, as we talked about in grad school. SATs, a test like that, normally a test is written by someone to be extremely complicated. And then a test does not determine someone's value. Coming from a person who did terrible on the SAT, terrible on the ACT. One day I got to go find that and just show y'all. Did terrible. I did so bad. Let me tell you, I did so bad. Pretty much every college was telling me I needed to retake the SAT. And I know I needed to retake the ACT, but it was more, you're more inclined to take the SAT versus ACT. But I did terrible. I was never a good test taker. I think I speak for the choir when it comes to that. I was never a good test taker. SAT, ACT, and I definitely didn't want no written exam. But now what I know about written exams, I prefer a written exam over taking a test. But tests are not fun. I don't like tests. So I get his claim, but it's always interesting because, school just started back. And it's interesting to see people talking about education as always. But like I said, valuetainment is more conservative. And so they're always going to be, like, against college very much. Yeah, they're always against college. Conservative, right-leaning is always against college. Left-leaning supports college. That's why we talked about it on the live stream. Like, Democrats are losing confidence in college. Republicans always lost confidence in college. But the funny thing about it, Republicans go to college. It's weird because they understand that, like, for example, in order for you, which is going to lead into our topic, in order for you to even get what is it called? In order for you to become, like, financial advisor, lawyer, officer in the military, I think detective in some places, you got to have anything high level. As people use the high level thing, anything to be, like, high level, you have to get a bachelor's degree. And then you have to take a test. And so I don't know why it's like that. I don't know. I just think it's interesting and it's hilarious. It's not debatable. I wouldn't even debate on that. I don't waste oxygen on things like that. That's really weird, as I would call it, because, oh, I don't support college, but I have to go to the doctor to stay healthy. This doctor don't know what they're talking about, but they really do. They went to school for it. Not all doctors, but majority doctors know what they're talking about. So majority of people who go to school for something know what they're talking about. Are they better? That's where the competition comes in. Are they better than the person down the street? You know, are they better than, is A better than B? Like, you know, that's where it comes down to, of like, they know what they're talking about, but can they expand on that knowledge? That's what I think people should really consider when people go to school. You be like, they don't know nothing. Like, nah, they probably know something. They just don't know as much as this person next to them. That's why this person is taking up all the market share. You know, as my business people say, they're taking up all the market share capital. So I thought that video was pretty good. I have another one. I'm going to clip that. That's going to be pretty good to talk about. I'm always interested in hearing people talk, you know, since I'm not in these places at the moment, talking to these people or interviewing these people at the moment. So it's always cool to just hear them talking about it, get a brief here of it. But remember, that's just a short. So you want to go watch the full video. So what I had next, I think I had another YouTube one before I jumped, switching it up to get your attention very early. I kind of like doing this if I can catch a video. I'm definitely gonna show you the video first. Let me see. I have another one coming up. I'm gonna close that out. So do that. Let me get this pulled up for y'all. So we have another one about dress code, and it's going to get a little deeper, actually. Did I get the article for this? I don't know if I got the article for it. Oh, I do got the article. And so Chronicle Higher Education actually brought this to my attention. So you know about the Tuskegee dress code. Now, apparently, what school? Southern University, HBCU, another one. Chairman Tony Clayton proposes campus-wide dress code. And when you hear a campus-wide dress code, that's like, yo, a campus-wide dress code is like, the moment you step on the campus, you should be in dress code. And needless to say, I have a joke. My generation and younger probably won't like this joke, but I think they say y'all fashion is so bad that y'all need a dress code. Because out of all my years, guys, I was in college for like 8-9 years, pretty much. You know, you think about every fashion group that came through going to school, they never needed to change the dress code. They say y'all dress code so bad that we don't know what y'all are wearing. And we need a campus-wide dress code. And it's not even just the HBCUs. Apparently, other schools, the University of Alabama, which I'm going to go to. Let me pull that up over here. University of Alabama actually mentioned or implemented a dress code as well. So it's like, what is going on with the dress code out here? All I'm gonna say is I went to college at the right time, got out at the right time. University of Alabama. Now I'm gonna play this video for y'all. Crazy times. Dress code. All right. Did they say University of Alabama? Yes, they did. We're gonna go back. I think it was University of Alabama now. I'm gonna play this for y'all. Oh, wait.
Good evening. Thank you for joining.
Did you delay?
Joining us first tonight, an official campus-wide dress code may soon be put in place at Southern University. The chairman of the board at Southern believes it is necessary.
News 2's Haley Jefferson spoke with students about whether they feel some restrictions are necessary.
Yeah, Michael, Sylvia, I spoke with some students who tell me they can understand the need for some restrictions on what is allowed to be worn on campus, while others tell me they don't think a dress code is the answer. During a Board of Supervisors meeting on Friday, Chairman Tony Clayton brought forth the idea of having a dress code on Southern University's campus.
I'm noticing other schools around the country, particularly HBCUs, with these dress codes. I'll tell you, I walked around campus the other day. I think we need it.
We asked some Southern University students whether they feel a dress code is needed on campus.
I feel like we've grown. We really shouldn't need a dress code, but at the same time, they do be wearing some skimpy stuff around here.
Sophomore Essence Nelson says she feels the university should have some sort of dress code.
Maybe not an extreme dress code, but definitely like what you like shirts you can wear, and like bottoms shouldn't have showing your buttocks, and like you shouldn't have a lot of cleavage showing.
Christian Tinsley shares the same sentiment.
I've seen far too many students on campus come outside of the dorms and things that shouldn't be worn outside of the dorms, and I feel like it would add a sense of structure to campus to have students wear a specific type of clothing and have certain clothing be not in the classrooms.
Some students say they'd like to see students dressed for the career they are majoring in.
For example, I'm in mechanical engineering. I expect to be dressed professionally to that degree. If you're in law school, then of course you want to dress into, business management, things like that. It's just being respectful to that major you're going for and trying to pursue.
Sophomore Madison Parker says she can.
That was actually a great point. I'm glad to hear that from someone who is not in college. I mean, in college, because a lot of times, guys, you won't get the job. You won't get a job. I know you're like, I ain't working for nobody, but you need capital. And 9 times out of 10, when you trying to get a job somewhere, you have like that. You will not get a job from someone who works right now in a career field, who gets a little I get some good input, like, oh, what about this interview? But they will not hire you based on what you wear to an interview. You can say everything great, but just because of what you wore, nah. And then you so good, you might get another interview. I'm just saying.
See both sides.
Don't waste your college money if you want to do what you want to do. Like I was telling a student that the other day, like, why are you here? If your grades are not doing well, you got businesses and stuff, right? Why are you in college? I believe you should go to college, even though you have a business, because billionaires do it all the time. They go to college, even though they're making money from their business. I have their own business, but don't waste money if you're just gonna like do things to harm yourself and won't get in the job.
I see people wear bonnets and pajamas to class all the time. We're in college, and like this isn't high school, and I feel like we should be able to dress how we want to dress.
Clayton says he plans to meet with the chancellors to discuss the idea of a dress code before deciding whether to add the topic to the next board meeting's agenda. Michael, Sylvia.
People will care about your emotions, but
so the fact that people are, hold on, wait. The end where I caught was the fact that students are wearing this stuff in high school is crazy. As I tell you guys, I went to historical black high school in Columbus, Georgia. It's like 2 of them. Yeah, it's only 2, I think. I think it's only us 2. And so at my historical black high school, right, you get everything that people say, oh, I'm going to HBCU. We got all of that early in high school. Let me tell you how structured we were early. Didn't realize it. Let me tell you how structured we were. You could not go to school. I don't know if they changed it, but you could not go to school at least when I was in school. You could not go to my school, at least. I can't speak to nobody else. You could not go to my school in pajamas. You could not wear house shoes. Like I got away with it, but it had to be closed toe. I always pushed them lines. It had to be closed toe. You couldn't wear slides during the day. If some people did wear slides, correct me if I'm wrong. If I have somebody from my high school telling me something different, but I believe you can wear house shoes. Definitely not no bonnet. Definitely not no pajamas. Yeah, you can wear sweatpants, but they even was getting on us about sweatpants because you gotta dress professional, man. Like it's so serious, man, about that. Like That's just only trying to help you and not starve you. Like that legitly is the big reason for why this colleges want you to dress professional. And if we don't get better, if we keep letting the internet dress y'all, if we don't get better, I guess we'll see colleges implementing a dress code. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna wear a uniform, you're gonna wear school colors, it's gonna have to be blah 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 blah. But I don't think they ever could do that because of what's that word? Because everybody would not be able to afford that, supposedly. So I don't think they would do that to the students, but they definitely, like, Tuskegee didn't set something off. And the reason I brought that up, because like I said, Chronicle Higher Education definitely says something about dress code. Where is it? That's what they said, University of Alabama. Oh, Tuskegee University in Alabama. I thought I said University of Alabama. So it wasn't University of Alabama, it's Tuskegee in Alabama. They had made headlines. Then they said several other HBCUs have such rules. And yeah, you know, as they say with the data, we're already at a disadvantage. So don't put yourself at more of a disadvantage by what you wear. Like, the biggest thing that I can't get off the dome of my head, I'm gonna have to clip this too, is that I don't see other demographics coming out the house with pajamas. I could be completely wrong. But like I say, I focus on us. And I don't see that often. As my time working at a college, I work in a college, I don't see that often. Everybody's doing it, but we're talking about from a college perspective. So don't grill me in the comment section. And don't get me wrong, guys, I get it, wearing your pajamas. I get it. But that's how my auntie got on to me about my TT. My TT did not want me wearing no pajamas. My TT did not want me wearing no pajamas driving. She don't like me wearing pajamas. I still hear it in my head when when I go drive somewhere, I can't wear my pajamas nowhere. Because if I get in a car accident, I seen somebody recently, like a month ago. If I get in a car accident, I got my pajamas on, just bad. It's just bad. And then she used to bring up good points about you never know, you might get a random interview and you in your pajamas. Or if you are a person of caliber as well, you don't want nobody professionally, man, like seeing you in like pajamas, bonnet, well, I don't know, do-rag. I'm still hesitant on the do-rag. I feel like you should be able to wear your do-rag in certain places. Like, that's just me, because I just know, like, everybody's hair texture is different. And I'm a male. And so a black male. So I just don't, I don't know, the do-rag thing. I'm just like, I don't know, man. We're going to have a real discussion about that. I might have to go before Congress or something, or go before the board or something and be like, hey, man, we got to be able to wear our do-rags. Because if it's a rainy day, I got my hairline still. So I'm just saying. So SHIO, Higher Education Policy Update. National policy, we got some topics. Will we cover some of these? Maybe. I don't think so. I looked through this a little bit. I didn't see anything really like, but national policy brief, state post-secondary program review, agencies move to implement OMB's proposed takeover of grant making. I don't know what OMB is. Education department proposal would make it easier to end grants. I have spent 20 years working on college affordability, and the math still ain't mathing. Actually, I think I do want that article. I do want that article. I hope this article is free. I think. I don't know who wrote this, but if we cover it. Colleges dodge Trump's 103 H-1B visa fee. Y'all know me, I don't really speak on like the visa process, because we have people in the college that actually do that as a job. FYI. So if you do want to go to school for something like this, I don't know what you have to go to school for. I don't even know if you have to go to school to do a job like this. But we have people, guys, that do this as a job. This is like a real niche right here about visas and payments of visas coming to at least America, because I'm in America. These are real niche jobs right here, or really a niche job. So I really want y'all to keep that in mind. That's why some topics I really refrain from, because I like to stick to what I know. I step out of my comfort zone sometimes, but I like to stick to what I know majority of the time, because I'm providing very good information. And disclaimer, I did not do the disclaimer. I just jumped straight into it. But actually, I won't do disclaimers after this, because technically I'm just reading headlines. How does the college premium change over a career? I looked at that, but that was only the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Yeah, that was pretty good though, but it wasn't really. But you can go look at it. It's definitely a free page, free information. California. This is state policy. 2 California legislators urge UC CSU systems to reconsider standardized testing policy. That's what sparked the idea to go find that video, actually, that we just watched in the beginning. MT, I don't know what MT is. I don't know what MT is. I feel really bad for not knowing. What is MT? And come on, guys, don't do that to me. What is MT? Ooh, somebody gonna be like, he don't know what state is MT. I don't know what state MT is. I don't. And I'm looking at it again. What state is MT? Montana. Ah, okay. Obviously, I've never been to Montana. Lawmakers recommend censorship protection representative for MT University students. New York press release. Governor New York announces workforce Pell applications open to expand access to high demand short-term job training. I think, forgive me, y'all, but I think the workforce Pell was created by this administration. And the reason why I'm hesitant on it, because I wonder if it's going to be around in the next years. All right. So that was our Shell update. By the way, let me see. Oh, y'all want to play this game. Video tools. I'm looking for it right now, guys. So all right. Disclaimer: the videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose to attend an institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at that institution that you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution during this live stream. Speaking on behalf of creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. All right, guys. So it's really important. I can't stress that enough before we do keep going. I can't stress that enough, guys, to do your own research and definitely reach out to someone at that school. Because every school is different. It's just like what's that called? It's just like how cops got their own jurisdiction, different counties. It's just like that with college. Like one college could do something completely different just because they're probably on the other side of town in a different county, locally and stuff. So just definitely reach out to someone at that school, because like I said, higher ed changes all the time. Higher ed changes like how stocks got big news. Higher ed has big news, but it's not really popularized as such. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind as we keep going. So let's keep going. So our first topic, though, we already got our first topic out, which I think was a good opener. Let's see. Vanderbilt University. Let me see. All right. Getting that set up. Just in case we got sound. All right. So as you all know, I talk about when it comes to things like money wise, like I'm a big believer in college. You could talk about college, higher education, but you can't just not pay attention to like the very lucrative money of higher ed. And yeah, I know I get on to the presidents, the executives, the people who make a lot of money in the college. Like I'm talking about like stupid bank, like millions, multi-millions, which leads to our last article. But which leads to the next one. It's not even the last one, which leads to like, yeah, it's the last title in it, like why the big dog mad at the rich. And so it leads to it because man, it's a very lucrative career field. It actually gives me the bullish case of why you should go to college. And then if you are somebody like, I always speak for the people that's from, because I'm from there, people from low income, Title I schools, poverty areas, such and such, more and more, right? It builds the case of like, all I know how to do is talk to people. Like, I feel like we make the best people persons, or I feel like that's the word to use, best people persons or best people to understand people, because we see the worst of the worst in people. Like, we seen the worst of the worst. Like, we might see people who are down and out. And like, I just remember as a kid, me and my bro talk about this all the time. Like, you talk about this all the time. Like, we used to play basketball at the park, right? Outside on concrete. We used to play basketball. And he'll tell you, we'll play basketball at the court, but the people we were playing basketball with were people like, they probably did some time in prison, in and out of jail. But we are in high school. Shoot, I started doing that in middle school, playing outside, really, basketball. And so you don't really know what these people' personal life is really like because you're still an adolescent. So like, one of the big things, at least where I'm from, adolescence, unless you really just growing up early and you really into that world, adolescence really didn't like, if you was a ball, you play ball. If you wasn't, you wasn't. But you get to meet all these like personalities you probably will never see again once you go to college. And that's speaking from experience. Like, I haven't seen no personalities like these. These people have great charismas, like some of the best charismas, but they're just like, some things like really quick to get angered because like you get tempted a lot. Just to give y'all a small view of what I'll be watching, I was just watching that, like How to Survive in the Hood. It was like a funny video. Dude had made like 10 parts of it inside of one video. But people in those poverty communities, when I play basketball at the court or interacted with them, they usually have like anger management problems. Don't stare at me. Don't look at me. Pretty much what you see in, as they call YNs today. Like, don't stare at a YN. Don't blah, blah, blah. Like, that's literally majority of poverty environment. Like, Jay-Z talks about that. Like, you don't want to stare nobody in the eye, because it's disrespectful. It's kind of like going to like, boom, perfect example. It's like going to another country, and when you go to another country, you don't supposed to raise your hand or shake with your right hand because it's a sign of disrespect. So you got to learn how to navigate in that country, right? Same thing when you go. That's why they call it like the underworld, because in the underworld, You got to learn how to do things. Don't look at nobody. If you don't know them, you don't speak unless you are being introduced. It's just things that you just have to be there to understand. And so I say that today because so many of them are there and more in different places in different states, that you will be a great person to work in higher ed, believe it or not. Because I literally, to put things in perspective, I get paid to talk. That is literally my day job. I get paid to talk. My job is to mediate and keep this student from wanting to drop out, keeping this student from feeling overwhelmed, keeping this student and his family, make sure they know that their baby is in good hands. And that don't matter what demographic you is, because everybody who really cares about their baby going to college is going to worry about their kid being okay while they're in college, especially going on with today, campus-wide, room and boards, mass shootings on these college campuses, crazy amount of cases that I just won't say unless I'm reading in the article, like harassment cases and so on cases. So like, yeah, some people want to know that their kid is in good hands because they know, like, okay, I'm an academic advisor and I got eyes on their kid and they're at work, still working and doing their thing, like trying to advance themselves, but want to make sure their kid gonna be taken care of while they're in college. That will put a lot of ease on the parents, knowing like, oh, he watching him. You know? So yeah, sorry about that rant, but that was a needed rant. So the reason that it brings to this, the Nasdaq. Vanderbilt University went to the Nasdaq, y'all. Vanderbilt went to the Nasdaq. Now, you might say, why does this matter? Because, man, do you not know the Nasdaq? Do you not know the stock market? Like, go listen to a Jay-Z song. Hold on real quick. Go listen to a Jay-Z song. You can't see it right now because I got the camera lowered, but go listen to a Jay-Z song. It's called, dang, what that song called? It's like, you don't know. It's like dun 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 dun, and then it says like he even say something like crap prices. This is more than like the Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Nasdaq. Like, man, Vanderbilt University at the Nasdaq, and it brings hope that hopefully Vanderbilt University is making serious bank because they are considered to be a top tier university. I learned that Vanderbilt is considered to be a very top. I won't say it's not Ivy, but a very top-notch like institution. And so I'm not defending them. Like, I don't know if they even offer like great return on investments. I don't know that part. All I know is this. Vanderbilt University is at the Nasdaq. And I can assure you that if we go really do a deep dive on these people at the Nasdaq, who are these people? It might be the president, I don't know, or the chancellor, whichever they go by. But I'm highly sure they are in the stock market personally. And then they got the school, because remember, we talk about the endowment funds as well. That's why I explain to people, like, in some cases, depending on what the deal is with the school, which is another topic we'll talk about, depending on the deal of the school and what the school is offering, that's why it's kind of good to go to a school that knows about investing, which most schools should know about investing the endowment funds into the stock market. That's why that's really important, because the school can really give you a scholarship from their endowment because they're investing the money. Now, are they doing good returns, making good returns? I don't know that part because I don't work in their endowment funds or wherever other foundation or different funds of money they have. But Vanderbilt University at the stock exchange, I'm not going to lie. As a person, if I knew about stocks in high school like I do now, if I knew about the stock market, this would make me bullish on the school. I don't even see no comments on this. Interesting. Maybe they got the comments blocked, but I don't even see no comments on this. Now you can make a comment. Nobody comment because who don't like the stock market? And guys, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to pivot that. Like, higher ed is very embedded in understanding how the dollar moves. And so, yeah. And then it says right here, today, we welcome Vanderbilt University to the NASDAQ market site to celebrate a major milestone, the opening of its first campus outside of Nashville. Now, you want to know why this is a brilliant, it says right here in New York. the opening of its first campus outside of Nashville. They're opening up a campus in New York City. Now, you want to know why it's important that Vanderbilt University went to, dang, this could be another clip. You want to know why it's important that Vanderbilt University went to the Nasdaq or went to the stock market exchange market site, right? You want to know why that's a killer game banging. You want to know that's a killer move, this is a like underrated. I won't teach this in my marketing class move right here. They literally are like, look, come to our school, because they know these people got money who are investing their money and who watch the stock market. Like the way people watch The Breakfast Club, perfect example. You got people in the morning who are watching this. And so they're like, oh, Vanderbilt University opened up a campus in New York City. They might tell their kid, and their kid might say, well, what does Vanderbilt University business program look like? What does they medical? Do they got a medical program? Now it's sparking, like, oh, okay, maybe you should go to the Vanderbilt campus and see the prices and see it's brand new. Who doesn't want to go to a new school? I think it's brilliant simply for that. And then Nasdaq chair and CEO Adina Friedman, a Vanderbilt alumna. Oh, see, connections. This person right here is a Nasdaq chair and CEO. Let me see. I don't know this person. Oh, she runs the Nasdaq. I didn't know that. Don't get me, y'all. I don't know these people by name sometimes, but she runs the Nasdaq. And why that is important, I'm gonna do a crash course on her. She just makes my point very bullish, more bullish. Man, I'll tell you, bro. I love guys. When I say this is what I did before I live stream, I literally would just go and be like looking up these people. Like, I think I'm missing an A. I'd be looking up these people like, they went to this school, they do this. Like, oh, okay, pinpoint that, connect that. And so Adina Friedman, right here, went to Vanderbilt. We're going to get into that. A Vanderbilt alumna joined university leaders to ring the opening bell. And so why is that so important? All right, thank you. Thank you, LinkedIn. Thank you, LinkedIn. You are so good with, I thought I followed this. I followed it now. I thought I followed the Nasdaq already. Silly me. I thought I did. Let me see. I'll keep it up. I might have to go back and forth. I'll keep it up. So Adina Friedman, we're gonna do this. Maybe I have to click this up. Adina Friedman, president and CEO of Nasdaq Inc. And then, like I said, guys, the Nasdaq is considered like, like SpaceX is inside of the Nasdaq. They're not in the S&P 500, but you got to have people who run these funds. She essentially run funds for the Nasdaq, which is essentially representing, I think, the Nasdaq. Oh, don't hold me on that, but let me see. The Nasdaq is, right here. So the Nasdaq Composite is a stock market index that includes almost all stocks listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, along with Dow Jones Industrial Average of the S&P 500. It is one of the 3 most followed stock market indices. So it's a fund. As I thought, I just wanted to have it on the definition. So it's a fund. She pretty much runs that, like, SpaceX should be inside of this or this or that, right? You think she didn't? You think she went to college? You think she went to college? Nah, she ain't go to college, right? College ain't important. She ain't go to college, right? Oh, look at here. Hold on. Look at here. They say she went to Vanderbilt. Oh, AI Overview. AI Overview is actually clutching the situation. And then like and subscribe if you drop by. I appreciate you. So look, you say college not important, right? But she is the CEO and chair of the Nasdaq. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Williams College. That's what they're saying. That's up here. A Master of Business Administration from the Owen Graduate School of Management at Vanderbilt University. Right. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna go back real quick. Open that up. Because this is why I be trying to get people to understand that like nobody is about to put you in nobody's real position and you don't got no education. Now, I'm not saying you need to have a college education. No, you don't need it. But to be respected, you're gonna need it. That's why it makes the bullish case. Why they're raising the value of it. Like more people are going to college. I pulled up the data. I'm not gonna pull up the data every time because that's boring, right? But more people are going to college to make money. She understands how money moves in a different type of way that I probably can't even imagine. And she went to college. Nobody is about to let you run in the United States. Ain't nobody in America finna let you run the American economy and you don't know how to manage it or went to school to know how to manage it, hedge risk, understand the risk, and all this good stuff, right? Ain't nobody finna put you in no position, not no real position, not no real position. You can run your own company without an education. It ain't our money, but you ain't finna run the United States. You get what I'm saying? And I know it's a big contradiction with 45 and 47. I know, but I know people be like, but what about, but I'm just saying though, like reality, once we go to another administration and whatever, guys, nobody is putting you in position if you don't have some type of education. Because that's why they have, I call it like the field or the groundwork. That's why they have people on the ground. That's why they have people on the ground. And that's why they have people on the corporate side sitting in the rooms, going to meetings. And that's why I'm like, if you're a person and you don't like meetings, like I don't even like meetings like that, really. You don't like meetings or whatever, like maybe, yeah, you still should get your college education, but you can be on the ground with the people on the day-to-day because they're going to need your insights of like what's going on the ground, because they're in boardrooms worrying about, like I just said, hedging the risk, managing the risk, and all that. That's like what she do. Or, she sits in rooms, interviews, sits down with these billionaires and blah, 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 blah. But she went to college. That's what I want to understand. She went to college. Are we not? And she has a LinkedIn, by the way. I got to follow her because that's the beauty of information. I got to follow because she might be saying something that's big coming out, like she was just on CNBC this morning. But if it was morning, it was a month ago. But yeah. College not important though, man. College not important. College not important. College not important. That's what they say, man. Whoop-de-doo. That is what they say. College not important. So let me just get something right quick for us. I don't know. Nasdaq. I'm not going to accept that right now. Y'all might be trying to get me to subscribe to stuff. Normally, when you follow them on LinkedIn or something like big time outlets, they kind of want you to subscribe to something where they're going to send you a lot of articles. So let me go back to LinkedIn. Not back to LinkedIn, but dang, that was a good one. 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 That really was a good one. And so, hold on, guys. I'm pulling up another article. Well, not article, but more of a needed post, actually. So this is what I was talking about. I did open it. Close that. Close that. Where is There we go. So if you don't know who Angel B. Perez is, some people might care, some people might not care. Angel B. Perez is another like not Angel Reese, Angel B. Perez. He's another CEO running the National Association for College Admission Counseling. And so I'm gonna say Mr. Perez in this moment. Mr. Perez said in Sunday's New York Times opinion section, I highlight NACAC, which I said before is the what? National Association for College Admission Counseling. What does that mean or entail? Let's get the definition. Let's use the internet. I'm not gonna sit here and just say, oh, it means this, so like I just know it all. So it's pretty much, it offers right here NACAC, which I think everybody should pay attention to, because if you know about this, you could possibly know how to increase your chance of like college admissions. Just saying, maybe this need to be another clip. This is a pretty good live screen. I'm not gonna hold y'all, because if you understand, like, I'll just click on it real quick before I get into why his job is so important. Where is it? Come on, y'all. Where's the who we are? There we go. I was like, who we are. So the National Association for College Admission Counseling, founded in 1937, very recent, is an organization of more than 28,000 professionals from around the world dedicated to serving students as they make choices about pursuing post-secondary education. And so right here it says what we do, mission and vision. I don't even know where to start, but hopefully I can scroll down. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna start with the what we do, and then history is always important. The mission and vision is kind of like what they're striving for, and that could change depending on like the CEO, who's Angel Perez. That could change. But did I hear that? Oh, that was up there. And so what we do, they support admission professionals. So they provide a number of essential resources and services to our members who work in the post-secondary field. This is like an organization you want to be a part of. Now, most people might not know or think about, but how can I put this? This is why it's really important. If you know someone who works in higher ed, it don't matter. Like, every part of higher ed is really important. Like, if you know someone in admissions, academic advising, I could be part of this essentially. And so if you know someone, it can really help to better your chance of getting into school. A lot of people do this. So I'm trying to figure out why this is showing. All right. It's kind of blocking what I need to do. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom that back in. Okay. So right here it says support counseling professionals working with prospective college students, whether inside the school system as an independent education consultant or as a community-based organization, is challenging and rewarding. NACAC provides a number of helpful tools to assist our members in this field. Like, you can become a member. Advocacy. So it's like, as the voice of the college admission counseling profession, NACAC advocates for the best interests of students and members. So on and so on, right? It's very important. 3. Okay, here we go with this. I don't need nothing right now. But pretty much the history of the NACAC, once again, serving the college admissions field since 1937. I think I read all this before to y'all just now. It says the association has worked toward increasing diversity and social justice. Our efforts. The founding years. I'm gonna go to the founding year, and then I'll get back to what Angel Perez. Who is Angel Perez? Because it makes a lot more sense, right? Many professional definitions and benchmarks were established by the NACAC's founders in the early years. Distinctions between scholarship and financial aid were defined. A member code of ethics was adopted. The issue of equity in college admission. Lord. in college admission was raised if it was first suggested the application fees be charged. Yeah, it was raised. It was first suggested that application fees be charged. Parameters of college days and high school visitations were set, and a national presence was deemed an essential through regional accrediting agencies and the media. So, going back to Angel Perez, why? Because in the Sunday's New York Times opinion section, he highlights NACES research on why colleges are giving more money, like and subscribe. They're giving more money than ever to wealthy students. So if you are not a wealthy student, they're saying, or he's claiming that they are giving more money to wealthy students. Merit aid wars are a symptom of a larger problem. America's underinvestment in higher ed. We should all care. The stakes are too high, and we all have a role to play. And then right here it says, Orsi image and comments. P.S. His friends that at the company or the organization, please know that I did not choose the title. Why are colleges giving financial aid to rich kids? So remember, guys, that it's an interview I did with Big Bro Sam. You have to go back, and that was like 2 years ago or a year ago now. 2 years. One of them is we're sitting in one of the rooms on Mercer's college campus, and I asked him the question. It was like, I think one of the first questions is what is it called? Is financial aid a rich or poor thing? A lot of people think financial aid is a poor thing, but it's not a poor thing. Financial aid is if you qualify thing. As you can see, you got the CEO of this organization. He's very high ranking, by the way, for this. Like, why are they giving more money to rich kids? And pretty much what I hear from financial aid, I could be completely wrong. I'm not a financial aid specialist, but financial aid is pretty much like, when I went through it, it's pretty much giving up documentation of what you make. But easily just thinking, if somebody's like a CEO, a really big CEO making a lot of money, for example, think about it. They pay themselves little. Like a CEO can pay themselves $30,000, $40,000 a year, and that's what they're going to give to who? Financial aid, for example. And then because their kid, if they got a kid, their kid, like, keep in mind, guys, rich people, wealthy people don't like paying for things. So they're going to take any opportunity to pay less money for something if they can. So just think about it. Like, if I'm a CEO, founder or something, y'all know how to go, and I'm going to pay myself less. I read that in a book, actually, a business book. They do that. They do that a lot. I know it's on social media nowadays, but like, they really do that. They pay themselves little. Like, some might pay themselves only 6 figures. That might not be enough because, I want to show y'all that real quick. It was, where is it? Schools. Y'all know I've been talking about schools, for example, are giving like families, if families make like $200,000 or less. Prime example, like I just said, families are paying themselves $100,000 if they are a CEO or founder. So when their kid goes to get financial aid, like my dad is a CEO or founder, and my dad don't make that much, that's what happens. Because the dad or the mom is like, I pay myself this. So when they go qualify, like when they go, what is it called? When they go do the financial aid, it looks like, oh, they don't make that much. So now the kid is eligible to get what? Financial aid, even though their parents is a founder and has a multi-million-dollar business. And if you don't want to take my word for it, guys, just go ask a financial aid person, a financial aid wizard. Go ask a financial aid. Don't ask no any bitty financial aid person. You got to ask a financial aid wizard, because that's the game. That's not even a secret. That's just like how the game go. And so getting into this article right here, I'm getting better with cherry picking a little bit these articles, but remember, you can definitely, is this the right one? This ain't even the right article. I thought this was the article, y'all. There's a whole nother article. Hold on real quick. Where is, let me see. I thought that was the article. Here's the article. It looks so much similar. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Like and subscribe for me. It helps the channel. Like and subscribe. Remember, we help you save money in college. Making money, save money in college. Started a 2-year, bridge to a 4-year. Can't stress that enough. Start a 2-year, then do articulation agreement, pathway agreement. Make sure that school has one with your dream university, and then go to that 2-year, then bridge to that 4-year. Save yourself 2 years, and then when you bridge that 4-year, stay off campus. Don't get a meal plan. Don't stay on campus. That saves you a lot of money. It's actually going to be one of our last articles about that. So right here, this is the article that I initially want to show y'all. Right here, Angel B. Perez. I'm a former dean of admissions. Colleges should not be paying rich kids to enroll. These are not my words, man. This is just like, I guess, the time we're getting in, and it's just good that I think I'm coming around at the right time. Like and subscribe. So I'm gonna play the sound of it for us. That is good that they added this. Oh, it's all the way turned up. I'm going to play the sound and let them read it, and I'll go through it.
I'm a former dean of admissions. Colleges shouldn't be paying rich kids to enroll.
Oh, man, why they use that voice? They could have got somebody to read this, so who is actually better at reading this? I don't know, guys.
This article is by Angel B. Perez and read by an automated voice.
It was read by automated voice. No, I thought it was going to be a real voice. No, we don't want to use that. That's going to be very toned. So, water break real quick, y'all. Okay. Millions of students will soon arrive on college campuses, full of excitement and whoa, they already popping this off with this word. Come on, man. Don't be using these big words.
Trepidation.
Trepidation. A feeling of fear, alarm, or nervous hesitation. Okay. Trepidation. So millions of students will soon arrive on college campus full of excitement and trepidation about what's to come. Some will have received a special gift, a grant known as merit aid. I'm going to zoom it in for y'all real quick. That is different from the financial aid that goes to students who can't afford the sticker price. Merit aid is in effect a signing bonus, a cash incentive to attract the most desirable students. So who counts as desirable? This is already pretty good. I would read this whole thing, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all because I know you probably don't want to hear me read this line for line, right? So then they saying like who counts as desirable? These bonuses originally intended for students with exceptional academic achievement, right? But today, however, colleges and universities are increasingly using these grants for a very different purpose: to lure wealthy students. Now, remember, we just said, guys, Vanderbilt University was on the Nasdaq for a reason, because they're trying to get wealthy students, wealthy parents. Like, think about it. Multimillionaires watch the Nasdaq. They watch the stock market, S&P 500, so on and so on. So it's pretty much a great idea to go on TV and, hey, Vanderbilt University, open up a campus. It's a great sale. It's great marketing. So, and these institutions are drawing the merit aid from the limited financial aid budgets, leaving less money for students who need it most. So that's another reason why I'm speaking on y'all behalf, man. Like, I care about y'all. And look, I understand that when you are the student who needs it most, been there, felt that. Because, yeah, you know, I really don't want to see you have to work like 2 jobs while you in undergrad like I did. You know, just to stay ahead. It's treacherous. You know, that's how I got debt-free degree, though. I had to work like 2 jobs: military, to the capital from military, to the capital from my full-time job working at Valdosta State, Columbus Tech, even at Georgia Tech when I was working at Georgia Tech, working on my master's. And then, you know, you got to work. You know, it saves you a lot of money. And it puts you ahead of the curve. That was something I was doing that was so unique. That put me way ahead of the curve. So I don't have to worry about a lot of things that most people are probably dealing with right now. You making a pizza? Get me sidetracked. So, get me sidetracked making a pizza. It's an oven home cooked pizza, y'all. So going to the next paragraph, they're talking about 2 recent analysis from Brookings Institution. I think I am subscribed to Brookings because they're pretty credible. I am. Okay. No, I got a bookmark. That's what I meant to say. As a former dean of admissions, I think this is from, by Angel B. Perez. He wrote this. It's a very opinionated. This is the opinion. He put opinion. So he said, as a former dean of admissions, I know this strategy well. For years, I awarded millions of dollars to wealthy students. He said it. For years, I awarded millions of dollars to wealthy students. I didn't do it because I care less about low and middle income students, but because of the brutal math of modern higher education in the United States. Consider 2 students applying to a college that costs $80,000 a year. One comes from a high-income family and receives a $20,000 merit scholarship. If the student enrolls, the institution nets $60,000. The other student is from a low-income family and needs $70,000 in aid to enroll, leaving the institution with only $10,000 in revenue. Which student do you incentivize? See, that's why I be trying to tell y'all, like, I get deep. And I'm glad he put that in layman terms because, like, hey, the wealthy student, the one come from high income family receives a $20,000 merit scholarship. If the student enrolls, the institution nets $60,000. You see? Yeah, they net $60,000. He got it right. Like that costs $80,000 and $80,000 a year. The student net $20,000. So I still don't get it. I feel like they still saying that the student is kind of short because let's go through it. Let's run through this because I don't want to seem like I just know it. Let's run through it. So you apply to the college. The college costs $80,000 a year. So that means a year you have to divide that by 2. If the school is, so that means $40,000 per semester. So they're going to get $20,000 of that. And they only have to make up another $20,000, probably out of pocket or loans or something. That's what it seems. And then they say right here, if the student enrolls, the institution nets $60,000. It says the institution nets $60,000. So I wish they would, or Mr. Perez, Angel Perez, I wish he would explain that part because he says the institution nets $60,000. But the family receives $20,000 in merit scholarship. Yeah. And then it says the other student is from low income and needs $70,000 in aid to enroll, leaving the institution with only $10,000 in revenue. So I wish he would explain that a little more. Because to somebody like even me, because I understand it, but it's because I work at higher ed and went to school for it. To the untrained eye, that's kind of like something missing. And it's still kind of missing to me. But like I said, they admit all these different sectors in higher ed is different. So it says, as crazy as that might seem, merit aid is just a synonym of a bigger problem. That's a great way of using it. While other nations are investing aggressively in higher ed. Wow. Hold on now. What you saying, Mr. Perez? Other nations. I can't read this because it's New York Times. New York Times is probably going to make me a subscriber. Hey, New York Times, reach out to me. Let's work a deal. I get free articles to cover y'all articles. That's a fair, good collaboration deal. Y'all better clip that and share that. But it says right here, can I see the title at least? Y'all ain't going to let me look at the title. Kind of crazy work. So they said while other nations are investing aggressively in higher ed, the United States stars it. So when he said other nations is like different countries, right, Al? All right. Just want to make sure. That's what it seemed like. I just want to make sure. And so other nations are investing aggressively in higher ed. I told you guys, higher ed is a world thing. It is not a United States thing. Higher ed is a world thing. I think that was one of the classes I did ask my professor about when I was in grad school. I was wondering if we had, it's articles. I guess you got to just do it yourself and be like, Like I would have to go study abroad and learn about higher ed in different countries, which I can't wait to look forward to. I can't wait to look forward to that. But higher ed is a world thing, guys. And I'm taking a brief moment to emphasize that because I tell students, I remember I had broke down, I don't remember which live stream it was, but I know I went on a big tangent about how Honda, how the founder of Honda went to college. He went to university, you know, to learn how to manufacture cars, learn about cars, engineering and stuff. And I went on that tangent and how like his board and chairmen, even though he's gone at this point, how his board and chairman and his company live on, but he went to school to build cars, you know, that people take for granted in some places. That yeah, I drive a Honda, but this person has made something like from another country, went to school. Like most people today be like, you don't need to go to school to build a car. Okay. You don't, I guess. But the person who made Honda, the person who made Toyota, Yoda, the person who made Ford, you know, all the just saying. I'm just proving my bullish case if I had to sit in front of someone and, you know, have a intellectual conversation about college, not debate them about college, but have an intellectual conversation about why college is important. And I'm glad Perez, because I got on to Mr. Perez before, Andrew Perez, the person who article we're reading. He said some comments on CNBC one time that was not, I actually did a live stream on it, I believe, or a video. I think it was a live stream. That was not the best to say, but it just wasn't a good comment. But I don't think nobody saw it because at this point, yeah. But he's making great points right now. And so he said the United States stars it. Our colleges and universities, long recognized as a hallmark of excellence, of our excellence, have been steadily defunded over recent decades, which is very true, which makes the case or proves the case why colleges are on sale. If you are a close to millionaire, billionaire, I probably shouldn't throw this out here, but it's probably a great time to invest in colleges. It's probably a great time to invest in colleges because that is game. I'm adding value to millionaires and billionaires on this one. Because if you can invest in a college and get equity in a college, which I don't know is even freaking possible, but if that is possible in any form or fashion, I would do it right now because colleges need capital. Now, it's just like any investment. Is this school going to do things that's really going to turn around the school? Right? Very bullish, very interesting. And so then he talks about the Pell Grant, our nation's best tool for supporting low-income, college-bound students. I was a Pell Grant student, guys. And I'll tell you now, if I got Pell Grant in Georgia, we call it Hope Scholarship and stuff. Man, when I was getting those, I took that and put it in the stock market. Yeah, you know, when I was talking about the Nasdaq before, that was what you need to do. You need to put that in the stock market. When you get refund checks, which is one of my best videos to this day. That was one of the first videos I made when I was staying literally off campus in my housing, off campus housing with two roommates. I don't know, saving a lot of money on rent. Rent was like $400 and some a month. Guys, when I made that video in my college, I guess you could say my room, not dorm, but in my room, that video did really good. And I think it was weird. That's when the algorithm respected higher ed a lot more. I don't think the algorithm respects college right now. It gets like college gets a bad, you okay? College gets a bad rep right now for some reason. So, but that's my best video today, refund checks. But I think because of money, literally the money in it. And so, yeah. So it says our nation's best tool for supporting low-income students is facing a $11.5 billion shortfall. Federal and state funding has been gutted. Millions of research dollars once followed into institutions has been slashed, as have loans for graduate school tuition. Colleges are facing a shrinking pipeline of high school seniors, and shifting federal policies are making it more difficult to enroll international students. Like, higher ed just going broke. And so this July, the Department of Homeland Security announced that international students can study in America for only 4 years. That will make it harder for U.S. colleges to attract them, a loss of many reasons, including the fact that international students typically pay full fare to study here. That revenue has helped keep our institutions afloat and subsidize the cost of American students. So business 101 right here, we were over leveraged on whatever term anybody want to use in business, but we had too much exposure because like when you got a portfolio, guys, like you're investing any type of portfolio, real estate, stock market, like if you got a portfolio of like real estate, right? And your real estate portfolio is like let's just say you got a better one. If you have a portfolio of $10 million, but all your $10 million is in, now some people might say I don't know what I'm talking about, which I completely understand. But if you got to, like, this is just basic, like having a diversification mindset. If you have $10 million in real estate, right, you are essentially over leveraged or your exposure is at risk. You should probably want to put like 2 times 5, not 2 times 5, 2.5 times, I think 4. No, 2 times 4 is 8. 2.5 times 4 should be 10. 2.5 times 4. Yep, it's 10. Don't ask me how I know that. I just look at numbers a lot sometimes. That's yeah. So 2.5. Somebody would say, like, yeah, you got like, if I had $10 million, right? If I had $10 million, if $10 million of our dollars were in real estate, I would say, okay, 2.5 need to go into stocks. 2.5 need to go into, like I said, maybe you want to invest in a college and see if you can get equity in a college and raise the value of that. But if I had 2.5 million, like if I had 10 million, 2.5 will go to real estate, or it's already in real estate. 2.5 will go to stocks. 2.5 needs to go to something else. 2.5, you need to diversify. And the reason I'm saying that is because America was over leveraged on international students, like and subscribe. We were relying on international students way too much. That's what it seems like, because a lot of universities, Ivies, community colleges, not as much as community colleges, just universities were relying on overseas money a lot. And it's hurting universities significantly, guys. And it's just, yeah, it was something that should have been saw or seen, because like I said, this what makes me get irritated with, this what irritates me a lot about people making, like, you got the presidents, chancellors, or whoever at these universities making millions of dollars or multi-millions of dollars, but they didn't take no hedge. No, they didn't take no precaution to hedge. Like, and it's like, oh, well, they're presidents or chancellors. They went to school for education. Some of these people went to school for business. A university president doesn't even have to know about higher ed to run a college nowadays. We literally talked about it in grad school. I used to talk about it all the time. Then when I saw that we were talking about it in school, because higher ed professionals, they won't say it on camera like me, but higher ed professionals don't even like the fact that if you don't have a higher ed background, why are you running the college? But at the same time, I don't know, like it's mixed reviews. You shouldn't be talking about, like, if you are making multi-millions of dollars, you're a chancellor, president, exec level, whatever, man, you should have saw that coming. You should have had what if the president, because he, 45, 47 was in office before 45. So when you see how 45 was coming the first time, maybe you should have prepped for, like, oh, when 47, if he come back, we ready. We got to have some precautions and brace for these next 4 years. But apparently nobody cared. And that's the funny part about it. So if you're going to pay, that's how I know, guys, we can be millionaires naturally. if you're not gonna be like preparing for the worst and you're running an institution, and I'm just saying, parents and families, like, hey, if they not taking precaution to make sure you're gonna be good, because ain't no way I'm paying millions of dollars to somebody or nearly millions of dollars to somebody, and they not thinking about what if we lose a lot of international students? What if we get hit by the current administration? Like, the fact that this is happening, international students, like the fact that we rely so heavily on international students and that these schools, like I said, university presidents make multi-millions of dollars. Like and subscribe. I see you stop by, whoever stopped by. But the fact that they make so much money, man, like university presidents make millions of dollars, execs make multi-millions of dollars as well in these institutions, and nobody saw this coming. They got business backgrounds. You did all this financing, you didn't see this coming, or you just didn't care. As one of my people used to say in the live chat, G used to say it was either like you didn't know, it was literally like you didn't know, or you just did not care, which is like predatory. That was like, that's predatory on students or whatever. Like that, you're gonna have to pick a side. You can't, you're gonna have to say, I didn't know. Then I'm gonna say, well, you're gonna have to say, well, if you hit me with that, well, I'm gonna say, oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go with the public relations. Here we go. Here we go. So, yeah. So it says now many colleges are scrambling to keep the light on. Oh, literally. Now many colleges are scrambling to keep the lights on. Once again, if you're a multimillionaire watching this live stream, if you got a lot of money, you should look into investing in colleges and get some equity. Get control of the colleges. But it's going to be a big problem because you can't get control of the colleges because it's a nonprofit. So keep that in mind. Or it depends on which college you do, because some schools are for profit. So this could be a bullish case for who? For-profit institutions. Could be bullish for them. Bearish for nonprofit, though. Bearish for nonprofit. So they're using merit aid to attract students who can pay at least a significant part of the sticker price. Is one way these colleges live to teach another year. And so pretty much what we haven't heard, we heard this already. Like we haven't heard it. We've been piecing this together. If you've been watching this since last year, because I was in college last year, which is crazy to think. I was in college around this time. I was in grad school. If you've been rocking with us, you would say, yeah, we've been pretty spot on. Not 100%, because nothing is 100% in life, but we've been spot on. And I got something to say about that. Real sidebar, real quick. Sidebar. Stay with me for a second. How do we get 100% on like tests in school, but we don't get nothing? Like we get 100% on the test when you test in school, right? You can get 100, right? That's the highest you can get. But nothing is ever 100% in life, right? It makes me think. And for the longest, I'll never forget before I keep going, y'all, like when I saw this 100, it made me think about it. When I was first getting into the stock market, man, I thought the highest return you could get on the stock market was 100%. Because that's why I was like, well, stock market, I don't see no point because the highest you can get is 100%. But little did I know, it ain't no cap on how high you can go. It ain't no cap on the percentage you can make. So it's like, oh, they can just keep going. It was like I was dumbfounded. Like I was like, oh, so why do we do 100% in school? I'm just saying that was just me. Very theoretical. Could make no sense what I just talked about, but it just sparked the curiosity to talk about. Yeah, it just make you think, right? Like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Like and subscribe. It just made me think, though. Like, So shout out to Angel Perez though. He said, to be clear, colleges have not been innocent by bystanders in their decline. With the cost of attendance at some institutions now approaching over even surpassing 100,000 a year, it's no surprise Americans have lost trust in higher ed. Raising prices and using, another big word, intelligent,
Opaque.
blocking all light so that you cannot see through an object. Raising prices and using opaque discounting strategies won't bring students in the door. To survive, American higher education must demonstrate it is willing to reinvent itself, not simply defend the same broken system. We should all want it to succeed. Higher education is one of the most powerful engines of economic mobility. Research shows that is true. That 10 years after enrollment, students who attended college generated an estimated $73.4 billion in additional annual earnings. Just saying. Compared with high school graduates, the fewer people we educate, the fewer workers we have in high-paying sectors, a risk we cannot afford as we face a declining birth rate that threatens the labor shortages. High wages lead to more tax revenue. So this should be a priority for voters and lawmakers. It should also be a priority for the millions of Americans who once relied on financial aid to attend college. Far too many more and more each year turn away when their alma maters ask them to help the next generation. That is true, because I ain't giving my money to no alma mater right now. Only school I give my money to as an alma mater is my 2-year college, Columbus Technical College. That's the only school I would give my money to if they actually, I don't think they reached out. They should do more better with that. But I would reach out. I would definitely give them money because, like, where I come from, going to college, the education I got, like, they built the foundation of, like, how sharp I am today. And so they can get, they'll get the bread. But my universities, no, they're not. No. So they better get right. Because people like me who doing well, nah, you ain't getting our money, bro. And it ain't even just me. I literally saw when I went to my brother, I got the recording. I never played it, but I got the recording to this day. I'll never forget. College students were walking out because his graduation was combined with undergrads as well. College students were walking out of their graduation. I kid you not. They probably still do that today. But college students were walking out during their graduation. Like, they were like, especially when they brought the person up there to ask for money, them college students were walking out. I did not expect that to see that. They were walking out like, bro, I'm gone. I got all these student loans. I'm gone, bro. Whatever you talking about. I don't care about what you talking about. We gone. I'm about to go to work. You want me to donate money? I ain't even been 5 or 10 minutes since I got my college degree. And you want me to, I'm like, at that point, that's why I said for grad school, people think I'm crazy, but that's why I said college graduations ain't really what they used to be. Because that's why if you watch any of my short form videos, like my not live streams, if you made it all the way to the end of my videos, that's why I say at the end, debt-free degree, they celebrating debt, but we ain't. That's literally why I say that, because essentially it's like they're smiling in your face as if everything is all good. And remember, we just had the conversation about being from a poverty environment, Title I, going to Title I schools, low income area. That's disrespectful to me. That's why I'm like, bro, I don't want to. It's like what T.I. said in ATL. I don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, whatever with you, because y'all doing well. Y'all good. The people who put the graduation together, shout out to that, because people work hard for that. They work on that. But in reality, guys, they're shaking the president, execs, or whoever hands when they cross the stage, and they got millions of dollars, and their students are graduating with $500,000 in debt. I was like, no, I meant that. Really, like, you're execs, university president, whoever you're shaking hands with at their graduation, sitting on that stage, think about this. Stay with me. When you go to a college graduation and you're graduating, when you shake that president hand or whatever, they're making like millions of dollars. You're crossing the stage with graduating with at least from $0 in debt, $1 in student loan debt, to you got people graduating with $100,000, $50,000, $250,000 or whatever in student loan debt. And then you feel like, I want to celebrate this moment of graduating because it meant something to me. But it did mean something. But that feeling, like when it wears off, I'm speaking from experience and I'm talking through other voices who are not going to say this. When it wears off, you know, like, that's why I'm just like, how do they, like that's why we started speaking on behalf, y'all. Like, it's not a great feeling to, like, yeah, I could climb the ranks in higher ed and make all that money, but if I'm not helping these students, not two-year colleges, I would love to climb the ranks at two-year colleges because, you know, two-year colleges are just, they don't really pay that great compared to universities. But if I climb the ranks at a university, I'm making all this money, but my students are not going to make this money. Like, they're like, you know, like, they're just like not doing well when they leave us. I don't feel good about my job and I'm doing my job right. I feel like I'm not doing my job right, really. That's all I'm saying. I'm kind of like a public defender in the court. I get paid. Well, public defenders don't make much, I heard, but a public defender, and I'm just like doing the job just to do it. But I don't really care about y'all when y'all cross the stage, right? Like y'all gonna graduate, y'all gonna work, and yeah. That's pretty much how it comes off. Sorry about that, another tangent, but today's just been a good live stream to talk about this stuff, though. And so, and pretty much, this is a pretty good article though, by Mr. Perez, Angel B. Perez. It was very opinionated, guys. Yes, dang, his career is the same age as me. That is crazy work. 28-year career in admission and enrollment. And he said from the comments, and yes, college tuition has risen to a level that is unsustainable, and colleges must address this issue immediately. There's more, but yeah, man, it's a very touchy subject. I know it's like what people don't want to hear when they hear about college, higher education, things of that nature. But it's something that should be talked about. It's something that should be addressed, like how he's doing it. That was my last article. I do have one in here. I haven't found no information really like credible. The Atlanta Journal, I think Al sent me, y'all. I got PBS up here real quick. Let me see. I actually want to talk about this one. This one's kind of funny though. I actually want to talk about this one. Somebody said right here, I have spent 20 years working on college affordability, and the math ain't mathing. This is probably somebody like Substack or something like that. A girl is no one. This like the media outlet, probably they like to write. Somebody said, I have spent the better part of my professional career focused on helping people access high quality college, which mostly meant focusing on how they could do so at a cost they could manage. Until recently, that was probably the biggest third line in my career. It's a career that started with a question I could not answer. A junior high at a high school in Boston asked me whether taking on student loans would be a good bet. I was in grad school. My work study job was with low-income students at that school, helping them navigate college. My bad, y'all. This is interesting. Helping them navigate the college going process as part of something called the Gear Up program. More explicitly, my job was to encourage them to go to college. I was what you call a college access provider. Though the title on paperwork was intern, I love that job, and I remember particularly the feeling. Right? Okay, I get what you're saying. If you don't know, she was a college navigator, pretty much higher education navigator, and then She said, I remember the feeling of a student asking me something entirely reasonable, whether her loans would pay off, whether a student like her had a real chance of finishing, which major was the right fit, whether she get a good job at the end of it, and understanding that the system had not given either of us what we needed to answer. The answer, of course, was that on average, student loans are a good bet, but as the adage goes, I think I said that right, people don't live their lives on average. That was 20 years ago. That experience stuck with me as I got a job in the United States Department of Education. Ooh. Working on the solutions to expand access to financial aid for more low and moderate income students, it stayed with me as I moved on to the White House and was tasked with answering President Obama's questions about why college costs so much. It was in the forefront of my mind as I drafted the memo to the president and led the policy process that would result in the first college scorecard. Oh, who is this person? Is it okay? Maybe they don't want to be known because this was on the shoot. This was on the Shio. So Shio posted this, but let's see if we can find out. It's not showing. I think. The public isn't confused about the price of college, experts are. That is so interesting. Okay. Maybe it's at the bottom. We have made some progress to be sure, but unfortunately, many of the core challenges facing low-income students when it comes to figuring out how their options at the high school remain the same. And the main challenge, I argue, remains some version of affordability. And that's been the main thing. Like I said right here, the math just ain't mathing. That's funny. We know from polling and survey data that individuals consistently view higher education as affordable. Gallup and Laminia found in June that just 12% of Americans rate four-year colleges as excellent or good on affordability, while 63% rate them poor, the worst score of an attribute they tested. On the other questions about higher ed, the partisan graph runs as wide as 48 points. So, yeah, pretty much what we talk about. I wonder who wrote this, though. But they don't. It's launched a year ago. This is the person. I think it's like they Substack. Yeah, something like that. It's pretty good, though. This is probably the person. Yeah, it's probably the person. I don't know. Let me see. I like to know who write this stuff. I gotta know, man. I can't just be blindly. Okay, yeah. A personal newsletter and Substack publication written by Zakia Ellis. So what is Zakia Ellis' background in? I thought that was the person. Oh, got doctorates. Okay. Got a LinkedIn as well. Okay. Zakia, let me correct myself. Dr. Ellis. Lord, they just got the information all on the website. Dr. Ellis is a principal at Education Council, where she helps clients navigate the current education policy climate to develop solutions that improve equity and outcomes for students. Before joining Education Council, Zakia held the role of Chief Policy Advisor to Governor Phil Murphy and previously served as New Jersey's Secretary of... All right, good talks. That is impressive. Now that makes sense now. Okay. I feel pretty good that we figured that out because I'm just reading this. I'm like, dang, they did all this. All right. So, yeah. that is pretty much it. Pretty much talking about the college affordability. But remember, if college affordability is really too expensive, you know, guys, like I recommend starting at a 2-year college, bridging to a 4-year, using the articulation agreement. One thing people don't talk about when they're writing, I get like they write articles and they're writing from different perspectives, different topics. But honestly, the winning formula, how I got a debt-free degree, was I started at a 2-year and I bridged to a 4-year under articulation agreement. If I can go back and do it again, I would look at my dream university and I would see which 2-year college they have an articulation agreement with. I would go kind of backwards and just be like, all right, 4-year, I'll go to this, I'll go look at this 4-year. I'll go on their website, I'll call the school, like, who do y'all have articulation agreements with? Make sure they can give me the information. They will send it to your personal email. And then I will go to that 2-year as I plan to go to this university. But don't trap yourself at one school. Remember diversification. Like, see what university, see who that university has like 2-year agreements with, or see who that 2-year college has university agreements with. And then that's why I always tell students, like, you could do it vice versa, looking from different lenses. But I always say, like, the 2-year, you can see like, okay, this 2-year has an articulation agreement with XYZ. I'm gonna just say school name. Like, this 2-year college has an articulation agreement with Georgia Tech, UGA, Georgia State. Like, these are some pretty good schools, right? But you got to keep in mind, do they have your major? But like, that's why it's so important to get your associate's degree. I ain't gonna get to that right now. That, you gotta say that for next time. That'd be a whole nother rant. But like and subscribe, man. If you like this was pretty good. I didn't expect it to get almost to 2 hours. And I could have kept going. But you know, hopefully you watch it. Remember, watch it 15 minutes at a time, man. Do not sit here and watch this 2-hour video live screen. Oh, do not do that to yourself, man. Like, watch 30 minutes. I try to change segments like every 30 minutes. So watch this like in 15-minute intervals, as I always say, because you're busy. You're probably in school. Like, that's kind of why I like doing it at nighttime, because I know a lot of you all are like starting to do your schoolwork, looking for some motivation while you're in college. Like, I'm the only one up at night. Get off your cell phone. Well, get on your cell phone or watch me on your laptop or on YouTube or some technology, but get off social media and focus on your schoolwork. Because if you're on social media right now and you're in college, really any school, but college specifically, if you're on social media and you're in college, you're going to hurt your GPA. I wrote multiple articles on that in grad school. You're going to hurt your GPA. And you should definitely delete social media while you're in college. Everybody who I recommended to do that, professionally and not professionally, it worked out very well for them. So that was actually one of my good videos as well. So please make sure to delete social media, guys. And yeah. And we will see you all next Tuesday. Have a safe weekend. And get ready if you are in high school or if you are a professional watching this. Share this with your class, because higher ed is not going nowhere. It's only going to keep advancing, and a lot of people are going to get left behind. And then if we have a labor shortage, I got to do my research, but I'm not going to say that. But we have a labor shortage, like Mr. Perez, the CEO from the National Association of College Admissions Counseling mentioned, if we have a labor shortage or any kind of shortage, which is not good, all this builds the case of what could be an economic collapse, maybe. Just saying. So peace, love, chicken grease, and see you guys next week or sooner, because I might do another video, just making videos and reacting. Peace, love, chicken grease.